The Jacob Zuma Foundation would like to respond to the allegations that the violence seen in the country is being committed by people linked to the former president. For more on this, I'm joined by Mr. Mzwanele Manyi from the Jacob Zuma Foundation. He is the spokesperson there. Mr. Manyi, thank you for your time this afternoon. When you watched Professor Ndlatshana on Newzroom Afrika yesterday, you said that you wanted to respond to this and saying that the protests that we are seeing on the ground now have nothing to do with the arrest of the former president?
Yeah, firstly, I must thank you for the opportunity. And also just correct, your intro is incorrect. Your summation of why we've asked for this is incorrect. The issue at hand that we want to deal with as the foundation are the comments made by Professor Ndlatshana, where he says our patron, His Excellency President Zuma, that did offer some kind of resistance, number one. Number two, that he called upon his supporters to protect him. Those comments by Professor Ndlatshana are devoid of truth. It's falsehoods, and we reject them with contempt that they deserve. President Zuma has done everything to ensure that there is peace where he is. Even in his press briefing on Sunday night, it was very clear. In fact, I would call upon members of the media to go and find that speech if you don't have it. Sidi Madia even published it on the Eyewitness News columns somewhere. President Zuma was very clear that he is a man of peace and he does not want violence and all of these kinds of things as it were. This is a reason, by the way, why President Zuma even handed himself over. In the day on Sunday, in the day of the press briefing on Sunday, he went and addressed his supporters and everything, and he thanked them for all the support they gave him and all of that. And after that day, the supporters dispensed. And for Professor Ndlatshana to create a situation that seems to paint a picture where supporters were closing the gates on Wednesday, is really just a pure lie. Why will a professor go on television and lie like this? Because there was no such a thing. No one offered any resistance. President Zuma did not instigate anyone to offer any resistance. He took his own convoy and took himself to the prison cells. So this notion that this powerful man offered resistance and then that police overcame nothing. President Zuma handed himself over. So that's the only thing that we are here to correct, that it must not be, Professor Ndlatshana must not come and lie on public television. It's a pure lie. President Zuma did not offer any resistance. President Zuma did not instigate his supporters to defend him. He didn't do that. In fact, the only thing he said.
Mr. Manyi, my understanding of the context of that conversation, which I had with Professor Ndlatshana yesterday, is he was saying that the former president supporters are the ones that are behind the mayhem that we are seeing in the country right now. Is that accurate or is that not? Is there a link between the looting... If I may just finish here, sir. Is there a link between the looting and the protesting that we're seeing right now in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal and the imprisonment of the former president?
Well, look, I think the important thing for me, I'll get to that question. The important issue for me, I hear that is your understanding, but I have a different understanding. My different understanding is that Professor Ndlatshana was very clear that President Zuma resisted arrest. And police, I mean, these are his words. Don't put words in his mouth. His words were, the police were more powerful. And the supporters knew that they stood no chance. No such confrontation happened. He paints a picture of a confrontational situation. This is the issue that we are raising. As to what is happening on the ground, we've heard reports from ministers. And Minister Pekikele is on record saying this looting and stuff is just a small screen. There is something bigger out there. We've heard the Minister of Intelligence, Minister Ayanda Dlodlo, saying they've got all kinds of information about what is happening. So I think if people want to know what are the causalities and everything, we must wait for the report of the Minister of Intelligence. She's going to be factual about the situation because she's got the resources to investigate this. So she said they're investigating the matter. So let's wait for the outcome of her investigation. Then she will nip in the bud to say what are the causalities of what is happening.
As spokesperson for the Jacob Zuma Foundation and being on the ground, is there a link between what we are seeing now and the arrest of the former president?
As the foundation, we are not on the ground. We are in courts. We are fighting a legal battle. We are fighting a battle of a man that has been sentenced to imprisonment without a trial. That's where we are. We are in courts. Right now, today, the legal team is visiting President Zuma to debrief him about what happened at Concord. We also have another case on the 19th to deal with those matters and various other legal matters that they need to be dealing with him on. So our battle as the foundation is waged within the legal precincts of this country. So we are in courts. That's where we're fighting our battle. What is happening on the ground is not in any shape or form part of the program of the foundation. We don't even know some of the people that are organizing these things. What we know is that we are fighting for justice. We are saying that the sentence meted out to President Zuma is unconstitutional as pronounced by the other judges, and we know that the matter is probably now even more sub judice, so let's not go into it too deeply. But simply to point out that this is where our disquiet is in terms of lack of justice, in terms of being reminded apartheid. This is where we are. We are saying detention without trial belongs in the apartheid era, not in our democracy. That's where our struggle is in the courts as the foundation.
Mr. Manyi, could you explain then the tweet by the Jacob Zuma Foundation, if I may just read it out to you? It says, peace and stability in South Africa is directly linked to the release of President Zuma with immediate effect. It was just pure malice to incarcerate President Zuma whilst litigation on his detention without trial case for a civil contempt was ongoing. So what you're saying is very different from this tweet where you say that peace and stability in the country is directly linked to the release of the former president.
No, but you see, no, we must not get things confused. What we're dealing with, what I spoke to before is a violence that is happening. And I said, we are not involved in the violence that is happening. We are involved, our battle is in the courts. We must separate issues. Our battle is in the courts. As regards the violence that is happening out there, the foundation then said that because we can see that there are all other forces, all other people that are taking advantage of the situation and all that, and at the center of taking advantage of the situation, others mentioned President Zuma and all of that. So we're saying you can actually call their bluff. We can actually nip this thing in the bud. I mean, just picture for one day, if you said President Zuma is released, what would be a reason given for anybody to do whatever they're doing? So the foundation is interested in the peace, not in point scoring. Foundation is interested in a peaceful situation and stability in the country. And we think that even with the arguments that have been made by the lawyers, there is an opportunity to, I mean, if you like, to deal with this matter of President Zuma being kept out of prison in terms of, call it Part A type situation, so that whilst the justices are still busy dealing with the rescission application, we don't have a 79-year-old man with comorbidities that is languishing in jail.
Mr. Manyi, I'm going to have to let you go in just a moment, but I'd like your comments on the tweets that have been seen on social media by 3 of the former president's children, tweets that have led the Democratic Alliance to lay a charge of the incitement of violence against them in support of the looting and saying a luta continua to the looting and the rioting that we're seeing on the streets.
Yeah, I keep telling media people that I speak for the Jacob Zuma Foundation, which is a juristic person, very separate from the Jacob Zuma family.
I'm asking really
so,
just for your comments on this, because
if you just let me
in as much as these are two separate entities, but they're all based around the former president.
Yeah, but you could have somebody called a spokesperson for the family. For family issues, a spokesperson for the family would probably deal with that. And I speak for the foundation. Safe to say that I'm aware that, for instance, Duduzane does not run a Twitter account. So whoever is saying Duduzane is tweeting, sooner or later will know that somebody else using Duduzane's picture and so on is tweeting. It's not Duduzane. That I can tell you. I've also seen on Twitter, because I'm on Twitter a lot, I've also seen Duduzile's tweets where she was changing her picture profile because she was saying that some people are duplicating her account or something to that effect, and therefore, and all that. So I'm not even sure whether we are dealing with the people that we thought we were dealing with. And also, some other media person called me and I said, what did they actually say? And then apparently at one of the tweets, she said something about, what did she say? We see you, or something to that effect. How are you doing? Or we see you. And I wanted to know that maybe this is the language of the young people.
All right,
so
Manyi, I think we'll have to leave it at that.
We see you. What is violent with saying we see you? I wasn't sure what was violent about that. So I don't have all the facts of the matter that we are raising.
All right, we'll leave it at that then for today. But thank you very much for your time.